Day 2 of the Brickyard Grand Prix weekend has just finished up. As you can see behind me, the Xfinity Series has literally finished as we're speaking. Ty Gibbs, who just won this event, is about to take the elevator ride up onto the victory podium to celebrate his win. We finished up the IndyCar weekend with the Gallagher Grand Prix, and we set the field for tomorrow's main event for the Cup Series, the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard. Hopefully, the final time on the road course. So let's hop straight into it by jumping into qualifying. Joining into the top 10, Ty Gibbs, like I said, just won the race. He rolls off 10th. He's currently in on points to try and make it into the playoffs. And now that he has won this race, there's an opportunity to sweep it and lock his way into his first ever Cup Series playoffs debut. Alex Bowman, another driver needing to win in order to qualify for the playoffs. He finds himself 9th with an 88.606. Shane Van Gisbergen, more than likely everybody's favorite to win this race, qualifies 8th. Backs up what everybody expects. Not the same kind of pace that he showed back at Chicago, but this is a track that a lot of other drivers have experience at. Unlike Chicago, where everybody was brand new, so it was equal playing grounds for Shane. Now he finds himself racing up against these road course ringers that really know these tracks well and have driven on this track previously. Christopher Bell, another person qualifying up there in 7th. He's needing to get some points to try and get himself into a good spot in the chase. Kyle Larson left today. He starts on the pole for the Knoxville Nationals tonight. He's going to find himself rolling off in the 6th position as he left a few hours ago. Going to go try and win another Knoxville Nationals and then come back and try and win the Brickyard GP. Kyle Busch qualifies 5th, the former Brickyard 400 winner, a back-to-back Brickyard 400 winner at that back in 15 and 16. If anybody has a shot at probably winning this race, it's him. He has shown that he can win road courses in the past. It's not his strong suit compared to some other tracks, but he proves he can do it. And honestly, with how quick he's been at RCR, I wouldn't doubt it. Michael McDowell, another road course ringer, he finds himself starting up in 4th. Chase Elliott, someone who was in a critical must-win scenario. He was looking like he could have possibly made it on the points. He was 50 points out. If he could have got stage points and solid finishes, he could have found himself in on points. Because of some disappointing finishes, he now needs to win. And then your front row, Tyler Reddick, the reigning winner of the Verizon 200. He finds himself in a front row starting spot in that 45 car. He came so close to winning out of Michigan, was furious at his crew members for fumbling the bag and costing him the race. He finds himself starting in 2nd. And then everybody's favorite amigo, Daniel Suarez, starts on pole with an 87.968, the only person to reach the 87-second mark. Important weekend for him. He came into the media center late afternoon yesterday and talked about the story of Nelson Piquet, his father-in-law, and the story of him losing his foot here at this track and the doctor that saved his life. Well, his now wife got to meet that doctor yesterday and talked about how emotional it was for them and how big of a deal and how much it meant to him. Now he finds himself starting on the pole position with an opportunity to win his way into the playoffs. Looking at the Gallagher Grand Prix. Man, oh man, what else can I say about this race? This race has been going on for a couple years. 2014 was the first time they did this event, back when it was just the one race for the Angie's List Grand. No, it was just back then the Grand Prix of Indianapolis. They've had very lackluster races. I've always said the only way this race could be entertaining is if it was a rain race. Well, it was bone dry. It looked like there might have been rain towards the end of it, but they didn't need it. This race was everything that this race should be. It's every race that it should be in order to have 2 races. Graham Rahal started on the pole. I talked to him yesterday in the media center. He said if he could have a good start and go from there and have a solid finish, that's all he needed. Well, he did not lead the first lap. Devlin DeFrancesco sent a dive bomb, a Hail Mary from outside, from I believe the 5th position, took the lead and led the opening few laps. Joseph Newgarden ends up getting involved in a wreck, climbs on top of a car. His championship hopes over as he goes a lap down. Scott Dixon was also involved in that accident. When it ends up happening, he ends up pulling the 2-stop strategy because of how long that caution was. As Ty Gibbs now rolls his way into victory lane. Pulls 2-stop strategy and an absolute classical Scott Dixon performance. Master classes this field as, again, Ty Gibbs. You want to know how much Indy means? That's how much Indy means. Scott Dixon, absolute masterclass, dominated the field. He the pit strategy that he pulled was fantastic. This was Graham Rahal's race to win. He deserved to win this race by every stretch of the word. A 7-year drought dating back to Detroit of 2017 ends up not happening. He has to finish second as Scott Dixon on older tires on less fuel is able to outlast, even less push to pass. Graham Rahal had everything he needed to beat Scott Dixon, but Scott Dixon, who has been in this scenario so many times in his career, who is known for being the Iceman in these clutch performances, now finds himself winning his first race of the season, now having 19 consecutive seasons with at least one win, and his 200th top 5 finish in his 319th start, which breaks the tie with his friend Tony Kanaan for most consecutive starts in the IndyCar Series. So an incredible day for the Ganassi racing crew, who are currently in a bit of a turmoil because of the news that came out last night about Alex Palou. Alex Palou was heavily rumored, almost guaranteed, to go to McLaren in 2024. He even got his first payment. A letter came out yesterday after the Friday session to all the McLaren team members that Alex Palou had decided not to honor his contract. Zach Brown, I believe, sent the email to Jenna Fryer. Jenna Fryer posted it, broke the news a year to the day of when the first story broke that Alex Palou was rumored to go to McLaren. And then all hell breaks loose. Ganassi releases a statement the next day saying that he's always had a lot of respect for the McLaren program, but he doesn't have much respect anymore for the current management of the McLaren Indy team. So fireworks galore, and the saving grace for the Ganassi team is the fact that Scott Dixon gets to bring home the win. Running through the rest of the top 5, like I said, Graham Rahal, an incredible finish in second. Pato O'Ward is 6th podium of the season, still winless. Christian Lundgaard finishes 4th. Alexander Rossi, an impressive 5th. Will Power in 6th. Alex Palou, the headliner of the rest of the season so far, the current championship leader and probably going to win it, finishes in 7th. Scott McLaughlin rebounds to 8th. Kyle Kirkwood in 9th. And Marcus Ericsson finishes 10th in a scenario where he really needs to pick it up, because if it's rumored that Alex Palou is going to stay at Ganassi, then that means that all the rumors are true, that Marcus is probably going to get dumped out of that seat. Now, I know how a lot of you people are going to be thinking, especially the NHRA crowd, hey, what about qualifying for the Heartland Nationals, the final ever race at Topeka, Kansas? Well, I have you covered on that too. Let's take a look at the qualifying results for all 3 classes in Pro Stock. Dallas Glenn, #1 qualifier, 6.642, wins the Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge yet again. Greg Anderson qualifies 2nd, an incredible result for him in a season where he has struggled to perform so far. Matt Harford qualifies 3rd. Derek Kramer, who's really trying to rebound, qualifies back there in the 6th position. Kyle Kretsky 7th, Cameron Caruso 8th, and then again the Quadra struggling 14th, 15th, and 16th alike. They have really struggled to really show the pace that a lot of people expected out of them. Funny car, Robert Height back to true form, back on top of 3.948, takes the #1 qualifying spot. And then who's in 2nd? Ron Capps. Who's in 3rd? I'm gonna let you guess. Wrong answer. Matt Hagan. Matt Hagan again qualifies 3rd. The big 3 always 1, 2, 3 with each other. Bob Tasca again in 4th. John Force in 5th, and Tim Wilkerson in 6th. You could have predicted this almost. Going down the rest of the list, Cruz Pedregon back there and outside the top half. Terry Haddock, an incredible result in 11th for him. Alexis DeJoria is a surprise down there in the 12th position. Not what we expected out of that TRD Supra Toyota funny car. Hopefully she can rebound come tomorrow. And then, of course, there wasn't really much bumping. There was, I believe, one more car that didn't make it. Chris King is the person who did not qualify for this event. Kind of like Christian Quadra, I believe. No, I forget who didn't qualify. No, it was one of the McGaheys. Mason McGahey did not qualify in Pro Stock. My apologies. And Chris Knight did not qualify in Funny Car. Top Fuel, Steve Torrance wins another Too Fast, Too Tasty Challenge as he racks up the points. Leah Pruitt qualifies 2nd. Tony Schumacher, an impressive qualifying result in 4th. Clay Milliken finds himself with another top 5 qualifying result as that team really starts to pick up the stride. Top half of the field, Sean Langdon just outside in 9th. He was not in the show going to Q3, lays down an impressive run of a 3.826 when he couldn't even set a 5-second time. I believe they're in the double digits with that time. Now he jumped himself from the 17th position up to the 9th position. And then Lex June, give a shout out to Lex June. He has struggled to qualify all year. Now he finds himself in the show for the first time this season. Congratulations to the Lex June camp. Now, hopefully, NHRA has sent out the media highlights for this event. If so, you'll see them right now.
3.764, 326 miles an hour, and Steve Torrance goes to the top. And we certainly know what Robert, Jimmy Prock, and the boys are capable of. As you said, you know, they maybe underachieved a little bit there on the Western Swing. Flames go down for Chad, 394 for Robert Height, 321 miles an hour. And I'm not going to say they conquered the top-end wheel speed, but they definitely got the best of both ends of that, both ET and speed.
So I don't know if you really had a chance to see the fans yet, but Supercars in America has really blown up within the last few years. And obviously with the V8 Supercars endorsement of being on your car, wanting to grow stateside, how much does it mean to have their endorsement, and how has the reception been to you with the fans that already have shown up, even the American fans that are Supercar fans at this point?
Yeah, it's been really cool. I did a signing session, I think yesterday at Speedway, and it was really cool. It was signing photos of my Chevrolet Camaro from back home, which was something that really surprised me at the time. And but before my time racing supercars back home, they have come race in America at COTA, and it was quite popular. So yeah, it was sort of really cool to see that the following's starting to grow, and obviously to have the support from everyone back home, and supercars as well is really cool.
So what do you see as the biggest changes between this road course and the road course that Formula One competed at here up to 2007?
Yeah, so after turn 4, you have the little chicane onto the back straight. We had a sharp right turn, then a sharp left turn, and then a sharp right turn. So it's opened it up a little bit. It's a bit faster there. But then the end of the lap where we had the banking and we had the issues with the banking, they've put in the 2 corners, and I kind of wish they kept that banking corner for NASCAR and for IndyCar, because I think it's a bit more of a spectacle, I guess. But it gives us another overtaking opportunity into that third to last corner. So it does. They've just changed the dynamics and the idea around the circuit, but it looks like a good circuit to race on. I watched the race last year, the Cup race, and there's quite a bit of overtaking. Turn 1 is obviously very difficult, heavy braking, but there's a couple of places around this track that you can line someone up from 3 corners back and make the move. So I think it's a good racetrack.
And then we'll go to Pat. Right, go ahead.
You alluded to earlier about how cool it was to see yourself on the grandstand as a past winner. I don't know if you've had a chance, but in the Hall of Fame Museum, there is a wall that has a timeline of all the people who have won at this track, and now your name and likeness is going to be on that wall forever. Just think about, and talk about what that means to you, to think of all the people who have ever won at this track, and now your name stands alongside them, and it's probably be like that forever.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, honestly. I never really got to come experience a lot of racing here when I was younger, but I always watched, always paid attention. That Sunday, earlier in the year when Monaco's on and Indy's on, and then we go race to the 600. It's probably one of my favorite days of the year. I just get to watch so much motorsports. And, I wish maybe hopefully one day to be here for it all on that Sunday in the future. I just always really enjoyed watching it. It's felt like the racer's holiday. But to be on the walls in the museum here, it's pretty crazy. It didn't seem very real in the moment when it happened last year, but it's certainly something. The trophy's real, everything's real. I hope to go through it again.
All right. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for tagging along with this. Because of you guys, I get to be here and I get to try all this crazy stuff. Again, the fact that I'm standing here right now overlooking the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as teams are celebrating in victory lane, as championships are being decided, and as the final Heartland Nationals takes place in Topeka, Kansas, I am absolutely loving life right now. We're going to be back again tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series. Hopefully the final road course race if you look forward to the Brickyard 400. I'm going to try and cover the Heartland Nationals if I can. I'm going to try and get as many interviews as I can. And then after that, the countdown begins to the U.S. Nationals. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, please share, like, comment, subscribe to the video. Get this video out there so everybody can see it and hopefully get exposed to the world of drag racing and even motorsports beyond. Be sure to follow me on all social media pages down below. MightyMac03, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, everywhere. MightyMac03, follow me there. And again, thank you guys so much for your support. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, this has been Mighty Mac, and I will see you next time.